What's up, everybody? Man, I'm so tired. It is 12:38 a.m. I am exhausted. I went to, I did my usual thing today. I went to the gym. I went to work. By that I mean my business. I went to work on my business pretty much the whole day, doing a bunch of research, doing a bunch of things, trying to find a product to push out there. And then I got hit with a huge wave of urges. Like, I felt it in my chest, like the anxiety, the like tightness in your chest. I felt it hard today. And I was very close. I walked. I managed to, like, I was still working, but I was like exhausted from working. And I didn't really want to continue. And that's where, I spent a ton of, like I said yesterday, right? It's doing something creative and doing a bunch of research and brainstorming a bunch of ideas for me is that creative outlet. I just spent the whole day doing it, and then the moment I took a break, I felt it, that anxiety. And so I was kind of like trying to figure something out. Like, what do I do? Do I read? Do I sit down, meditate? I just know I got to do something. So I did a little bit. I walked around my house a little bit. I sat down, did like a little bit of meditation. But like I said, like it stayed. It stayed very. I still had it. I still had that feeling, that anxiety. And it was around like 7 o'clock, and that's when I realized, you know what? I can train Muay Thai tonight. And so I did. I went to go train Muay Thai. And it was kind of, it was my first time back in almost 3 months. And I was, for those of you who don't know, I hurt my foot. I wore a really bad ankle brace. And it messed my foot up pretty bad. It felt like nerves, like it feels like nerve damage more than it does like it. It's like a very sharp pain with some discomfort, and if I overdo it, it goes numb. So I was like, okay, let's test it out. Let's test out if I'm able to fight. Let's just try it, because I can walk, and I can I can walk and I can go to the gym and I can do all that stuff, but Muay Thai is a little bit more intense than that. So I went, trained, and first thing you do is jump rope. And we did that for about 7 minutes, and immediately I felt like the pain go back into my foot, and I was like, oh man, I'm not ready. So kind of took it easy the whole class. It was nice to be able to kick the bag again. It was nice to be able to hit pads again. But yeah, I don't want to overdo it. The thing I hate though is, like, it's been 3 months already. I kind of expect it to heal by now. It kind of sucks because I really, really like Muay Thai. But yeah. Finished training, went home, and now I'm very exhausted. I've had a very full day. But I will say, going to Muay Thai did calm those urges down. So, it's good. It's good. I got to do a little bit of that. It was a good day, I would say. Looking forward to tomorrow. I think I'm going to keep doing that. But then I need to find something else to put like a different kind of creative energy, because I could work on my business all the day long, but eventually I'm gonna want to put it down. I'm gonna say, hey, all right, that's enough work. I need to do something that is creative but also relaxing. It's like not so much brain activity, but just enough brain activity where I'm like doing something. So I need to figure out what that is. Reading's a good way to do it. Reading's a good way, but just more stuff to brainstorm. this is usually where I give a piece of advice. I don't really have a whole lot of advice. If you guys want some advice, you can watch my old videos. There's not much new that I'm discovering. I'm really treating this a lot more logistically than I have in the past, my past attempts at NoFap. I'm trying to do this as much as possible to go purely logistical. Make note of my feelings, be more aware. I think like meditation helps with that. I do like meditative prayer. And it is nice. It does give you a heightened sense of awareness. And so I want to basically use that heightened sense of awareness to analyze and think, are there any triggers? If there are no triggers, then when do the urges come? Because sometimes an urge can be triggered, and sometimes it just happens, right? And I think that's just your brain when it is stuck in addiction mode. It's just like, okay, we haven't done this thing in a long time that we really like doing. What's happening, right? It starts to freak out. That's why I start to feel anxiety. That's why I start to feel like the tightness in my chest. And so it's figuring out techniques to calm that down. It's figuring out ways to, not just calm that down, but also just like sit in it, right? To sit in it and just be like, okay, everything's okay, right? Obviously, you desire, like I'm talking to my own brain. My brain desires to have this, thing that feels really good, but ultimately at the end, it's not a good thing, right? It's knowing like, oh, you're gonna regret this afterward. Oh, it's not gonna last. It's gonna make you feel worse. All of that stuff. Obviously, that's not. Sometimes it's not enough, which is why it's so addicting. Like we know it's bad, right? But it's analyzing like what you're feeling while you're in those moments. It's analyzing, because I've already said it a billion times how I feel when it happens. It's also finding different ways. Obviously, like there's different tactics that people use, but it's also finding what works for you. So a lot of people try to white knuckle. A lot of people try to hold on. Just pure sheer willpower. If this could be fixed by sheer willpower, it would have been easy. if this is just white knuckle, grit and bear it, it would be easy. But it's not. It's not. It's not so easy as, okay, I'm gonna say it, and then it's gonna happen, right? That's not how it works, right? It's easy to do, like it's easy to force yourself to do something. It's hard to force yourself to not do something, right? That's kind of the essence of what an addiction is. Because for me, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to work out. I don't want to do work. But I said I was going to, because the alternative is doing nothing, right? So it's easier to force yourself to do something rather than force yourself to stop doing something that you've been doing for a long time. And that's the logistics of like habit building and habit breaking. And habit building at least for me, habit building is easier than habit breaking. So that's why I've been so immersed in my work, is because it gives me an endless it's an endless task list. Like there's a billion things to do when you own your own business, when you're trying to run your own business. There's a billion things you need to do and a billion things that, need to get done. It's actually insane how much goes into a business, especially when you're doing it all by yourself. So anyway, yeah, I would encourage everybody to do that. Like, think about it logically. Like, keep track of stuff. Keep track of, like, write it down. I guess this is my advice for today. It's like, write it down. Write down why, when, where, who, ask the who, what, where, when, why of like what happened, right? Track those times. Like you'll eventually notice a pattern, and track down how you feel. Track down how you feel, right? Because now, like I used to feel those things and I didn't think about it. I just like, this sucks. That's all I would think about. Now I get those feelings and I'm like, okay, this is normal. It's your brain telling you we're not getting the things we used to get that felt really good. This is normal. If you deny it, if you can redirect it, that's great. If you can redirect that thing, that's great. If you can deny it, that's great. But don't allow that energy to sit inside. And so, yeah, now that I've thought about it in that way, it's helped me a lot. So, but I mean, obviously, it's not helped. I mean, it's still day 4. Obviously, there's definitely gonna be more challenges ahead. Day 4, moving onward. I've definitely felt it before. I don't know. Now that I think about it, it's because it's been so long. I don't know what my strategies were back then, but I like the strategy now. I don't know what the strategies that worked were back then, but I like the strategies now. Anyway, I want to get to your comments. Justin, what up, JD? Doing well, still remaining disciplined with my fitness in spite of losing motivation. Dude, don't worry about that. All of my friends lose motivation all the time. I lose motivation all the time. I have no motivation to go to the gym. The only reason I go to the gym is because I said I was going to do it. And I want to be an honorable man that is true to his word. And that's a value to me, is that my word is law. When I say something, it means I'm going to do it. And I'm going to try my best to do it. That way, when I say that to somebody, say, hey, I'm going to do this, or hey, I believe this, they take me seriously. So I choose to be a man of my word. That's honor. And so I said, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to try to go to the gym every day, or at least 6 times a week. All right. And that's discipline. That's being like, well, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm tired. I didn't get enough sleep. But I said I was going to, and my word is law. That is honor, and that is discipline. And that is why I go to the gym every day. So don't worry about motivation. Just be disciplined. Be disciplined. If you can be disciplined, you don't need motivation. Because your mind's just going to say, well, you said you were going to. Be a man of honor, right? Planning on doing second full marathon next year. Dude, I don't know how people die. I don't know how people can do marathons, man. That's crazy. I could try it, but I can't go for that long. Especially with my foot. If I overdo it, it's over. As a fellow Catholic, I'll be praying for you. I didn't know you're Catholic, JD. Nice, thank you. I'm praying for this new journey you're embarking on. I've been struggling with my own faith. You encourage me to fight through the temptations that life throws my way. Hey, man, we all go through it. We all drop the ball. That's what confession is for. That's what the sacrament of reconciliation is for. Make a confession. Go to confession. And it's obviously it's a great sacrament. It is a big deal, but it's also like, go get some absolution, man. You go and then you're just reminded of how merciful and how graceful and how forgiving God is, especially when you come to confession with humility, with understanding that you did wrong, with wanting to confess that you did wrong, with wanting to be better. God sees that. Go to confession. Go to confession. As for your recent relapses, it's not good that you let it get you down. Just because get knocked down doesn't mean you can't get back up. Yeah, that's something that I've become more like as I've gotten older. I'm just like, well, what's the point of feeling bad? What's the point of the like, obviously I'm grateful that I feel guilty because it means I have a conscience. But what's the point of beating myself up? What's the point of like losing hope, giving into despair, right? It doesn't do anybody any good. In fact, it just harms you more than it helps you. So I don't like being so down on myself anymore because, when I put it into perspective, like everybody's going through something. Everybody's going through something. But what are you going to do? Are you going to be like, there's three choices. You could be the hero, you could be the villain, or you could be the civilian. The civilian's going to sit there and be like, well, I have no agency. I have no control over myself. Everything sucks. I can't do anything. I'm not helpful. I'm not useful in any way. That's my life, right? The villain will say, well, I can't do it. I'm just going to give into it. Right? I'm going to embrace that I'm just a screwed up person. Or I'm going to embrace that I can never fix this. And I'm just going to dive deep into it and just accept that this is who I am. And then there's the hero that says, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not good. Like, I keep screwing up. I keep messing things up. But I am going to continue to fight. I am going to continue to do what is right. And if I lose, well, somebody's got to get back up. It might as well be me. But somebody's got to give hope to these people. It might as well be me. That's what a hero does. So you got the choice. And I want to be the hero, dude. I want to be the hero. I want to be the main character. I want to be the hero in the in the eyes of my future wife. I want to be the hero in the eyes of my future children. I want to be the hero in the eyes of my community, all of my friends. I want to be that hero and just say, hey, I'm no different than you. I just decided that I was going to try every day. So I know that I can do this. 90 days and beyond, I can do this. I know I can. Because one, I've done it before, and two, I'm not going to stop until I do. And so I'm going to bash my head against this wall until I win. That's really it. And hopefully that can inspire everybody else. This video's gone on for a little too long, but your comment is great. It's given me a lot to say, JD. Life will always give us these crosses to bear, but it's our duty to carry each other through the struggles. Blessings, man. Absolutely. I can't do this alone. I really can't. I'm grateful that I have my friends. I'm grateful that I have my priest. I'm grateful for my parish. I'm grateful for, my family, everybody. And I'm grateful for you guys that are still watching after so long. I'm truly, I am. Because doing anything by yourself kind of sucks, Having somebody else there with similar goals, it's great. It's fantastic, and it makes everything so much easier. So I do appreciate it. Andrew, good video. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Mike, my religious status since my upbringing has been traditionally evangelical Protestant. Same. Undiluted by the progressivism of the religious left. Yeah. It doesn't help that I'm in California. I'll give you that. Certainly marriage can be a blessing, but I've never been taught that singleness is a curse. Yeah, it's not really taught. It is just a confusing message. Like I said last video. It's confusing because, they want everybody to be married, but they say that singleness isn't a curse, but they kind of treat it like that. At least in the churches, I shouldn't even say just one church, in the churches that I went to, it felt like they didn't teach it, but it definitely felt like everybody else treated you a little bit differently. It kind of sucked, but obviously it's not all the churches, but certainly all the churches that I've been to. So I can't generalize. I can only speak from personal experience. I'm with Paul. Singleness has advantages for those who can manage it. Yeah, definitely. I believe that most Christians are called to be good spouses and parents, but some are called to the single life. For those who are, I think that it's a gift. Perhaps the opinion of some that everybody should be married is derived from a notion that marriage is the only insulation from sexual sin. Yeah, I think that is a lot of people at the churches that I went to would have that, because Paul said, like, if you can't control your passions, it's better for you to get married. But to be able to control your passions, now that I've now that I've thought about it more, to be able to control your passions is a virtue. To be able to have control of your passions, have control of your body, have control of your thoughts, have control of all of these things, to wrestle with all of that is a virtue. And, there are some people that can't control that, but for some people that can, it is a blessing. It really is, to be able to control that. It even says, like, some people are eunuchs when they were born, some people are eunuchs by circumstances of life, and then some people are eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven. Like God has people that are eunuchs that have chosen to be, or have been called by God to be. And I think there needs to be a lot more love for those people. I think there needs to be a lot more validity to those people, like affirmations to those people within the church. People like, I can't tell you, because I would go to youth ministry, and I would like listen to the pastor talk, and pastor's always talking about like relationships. Well, not always, but he would sometimes talk about relationships and marriage and all that stuff. But he would never talk about, well, I wouldn't say never, but he would talk about singleness as a stepping stone to marriage rather than singleness in and of itself, right? When singleness would be talked about, it would be talked about as like, it's good to be single, you should stay single, and you should do all of these things so that you can attract somebody to marry. Or, and that was the message for the guys. The message for the girls, man, I will tell you this. I can go on a huge rant about this, and maybe I will. I might do a Let's Talk about this. I haven't done a Let's Talk in a long time. I might do a Let's Talk about this, because this really like frustrates me and grinds my gears. So I might save this for a topic later, maybe tomorrow, maybe a few days from now. But like I said, singleness would be kind of used as a stepping stone to marriage. So that was my experience with it, at least. There wasn't a whole lot of affirming like it's good to be single, right? It was kind of like an afterthought, right? It's like, oh, it's good to be single, yes, but look for your spouse, or like be this way so that you can attract a spouse, or like do all of these things so that you can get married. It wasn't ever like, for those of you who have been called to singleness, embrace it. If you feel called, if you've discerned, if you've done all of these things, and you feel the call to embrace singleness, embrace it, because it is a blessing. You get to give. You don't get to be distracted by the things of this world, and you can solely concentrate on the spiritual, right? And that's a blessing. That's a huge blessing, because having a wife and having kids and providing for that wife and kids, that is earthly stuff. That is earthly stuff. Obviously, it's a representation of like Christ and the church, but this is worldly. This is earthly stuff, right? A lot of people don't want to hear this, but you will probably not be with your spouse. I'll say that you're not going to have a spouse in heaven, right? People don't like to hear that, but that's a reality that you might have to come to understand. Like, you have to come to terms with, So, but yeah, wonderful comment. Thanks, Mike. As always, all of you guys, I love your comments. I love talking. I like talking about these different topics as well. I'm a very traditional religious person, so I'm very happy to talk about all this stuff. But anyway, I'd like to ask a question so that you guys can like make comments about it. I'm so fried. It's like 1 a.m. right now. I'm so fried. This video's going on for too long, so I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna get some sleep, but thanks for watching. Peace.